Welcome to Offstage with Jordan Baylor, where you'll discover the stories behind the movers and shakers in the entertainment and business world. Now here's your host, Jordan Baylor.
Hi. Welcome to the debut episode of Offstage with Jordan Baylor. This is your host, Jordan Baylor speaking, and I already know what you're thinking. Not another guy with a podcast. It is another guy with another podcast, but this isn't your typical podcast. This is the type of podcast that I wish I had when I was younger. What we're going to be covering on this show is I'm going to be reaching out to influencers, people in the business world, people in the entertainment industry, people behind the curtains, behind the scenes that are making things happen, closing deals or helping deals get closed. And I want to show that there's a lot of opportunities that aren't in front of the camera. There's a lot of opportunities for growth, a lot of things. People are needed in many, many different places. And I hope that you can manifest the life. On this series, we'll be bringing people who inspire me, have inspired others to create and chase after the life they want to manifest in their own lives. I was reading a quote the other day from Jim Rohn, and it once said, "If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they'll have planned for you? Not much." And with those words, I bring to you the show, Offstage with Jordan Baylor. On today's episode, we'll be speaking with a man named Jesse Young. Now, Jesse Young is a guy I met when I was 20. I turned 30 November 30th, 2019. So I've known him for a decade. Jesse is an anomaly. He's one of those guys that can pretty much create anything, do anything creatively, visually. His talent is visual arts. So anything visually, if it looks good, he can do it. So if you show him a photograph and you say, "Hey, Jesse, can you do this?" Or how do you pull this off? If he doesn't know, he's going to figure it out and bring you the results and be like, "Hey, that photo you showed me, here's how you do it." A website. He's a master web designer, master web builder, master video editor, master audio editor. Creatively, there's a lot of stuff I don't know that Jesse can't do. Jesse Young has always been a businessman, and with that entity, he's taken his talents to creating his own business so that he can be the master of his own future. He wants to create a huge network where his content is distributed on his own platform. That's what he is. He's a man who is in charge of his own future and hates to be dictated to someone else's terms. That's where Jesse thrives best, when he bets on himself. Currently, Jesse Young is working on a platform called Amexem. Now, Amexem is a mix of a Masterclass meets Black history you didn't know that you needed. And he's launched it for 6 months, and right now it's slowly ticking up, but it's thriving nonetheless. If I know anything about Jesse, I know he's going to turn it into a much successful, an extremely successful business that allows him to live the lifestyle he wants, which is a lifestyle where it's passive income. He creates the content he wants. He does his websites. He does this. He does that. And he also has time to raise his family. When I caught up with Jesse, we spoke about what it takes to run a business, grow a business, work ethic, and much more. So I bring to you today the COO of Amexem.com, the CEO of Present the Vision, a multimedia company based in Houston, Texas, Jesse Young. This is episode 1 of Off Camera with Jordan Baylor. I have the amazing, fantabulous Jesse Young on the line. He is CEO of Present the Vision, which is a multimedia company based out of Houston. They've worked with all types of big brands, Microsoft, any company you can think of. Pretty much they've done videos for, they worked with. And he also has a new venture, which he's venturing off into. It's called Amexem. It's the simplest way to put it is a masterclass for inquiring minds. So if you want to be enlightened and have your mind spiritually heightened, that would be the easiest way for me to tell you, he's COO of this company, Amexem. He's Chief Operating Officer. See this nice acronym. So, Jesse, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
Okay. So first off, tell me, man, what is Amexem?
Amexem is a streaming platform that we're building. We're in alpha stage. We're about to go into beta. Proud to announce that. So we're going into that next stage.
Congratulations.
It's a streaming platform where we provide ancient solutions for modern problems. And so that covers everything. I mean, you hit it on the nail. Everything from spirituality to health to just your day-to-day life hacks. We look back in time and we see that ancient forefathers, they had the answers. That's why we were who we were. And so how do you get back to that? You got to get back to that mindset. You got to get back to those same teachings. And so that's what it is. Like you said, it's Masterclass for modern for ancient solutions for modern problems.
So what about that interested you and made you want to just dig deep and choose that as a business to dedicate your life towards, honestly? Because I care about that stuff, but I don't know if I care about it enough to be like, I want to help others.
How much time do we have? Well, the short end of it, yeah, like you say, and personally, I've dedicated my life to it, to more science. I'm a member of the More Science Temple of America. And with that, once you see what it does for you, what it can do for your family, and what it does for humanity, that's the main purpose, is to uplift all of humanity. So once you start seeing what that does, you want everybody to have it. It's like good food. It's good nurturing food. You want everybody to eat it. You see everybody eating crumbs, you're like, no, take this. This make you feel good. Yeah. And so with that, of course, my background, it was a no-brainer to say, whoa, the world needs this, and this platform, this is a way to get that out. And so
your background, I didn't introduce you, I guess, properly to the audience, but your background is technology and multimedia and visual, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
so
correct.
You have a deep. I've known Jesse for years. He is one of the. If he shows you something visually, it's gonna be like so on point, and it's gonna look like a studio put it together. And Jesse's like covered in sweat with eye bags underneath his face, and Jesse's gonna be like, "No, man, I just did that last night."
That's pretty accurate.
That's pretty accurate. See, Jesse has a mode and a train of thinking to where he can make a $3 budget look like $30 million. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, it always looks beyond top notch, like a level above that. And it seems like he's a one-man team. And I just want to ask, like, when you took on this project, how did you build the team around it so it wasn't such a heavy workload on you?
Well, yeah, gratitude. I mean, that's the mindset, is to say, well, wait a minute. It's one thing to do work for our clients. We might have 2 or 3 people depending on what's the project. But then when you turn around and say, okay, well, wait a minute, we want to create an entire platform. We want to create a masterclass. We want to create a Netflix. When you say that, you say, well, no, I can't do that by myself. It'll happen, but I'll probably be 95, 100 when it finally comes to play. And so with that, that was the main thing, was finding the right people that was already into the topic of more science or things like that, or ancient science. And
ancient science.
Yeah.
But you don't necessarily have to be, because I've personally taken a class and I'm not of the Moorish belief, but I learned a lot. It was about I think it was teaching me about Abraham Lincoln, and it was teaching me different facets of history. It was teaching me just theories I didn't even know to think of. It was such a wild theory that had like factual basis. I was just like, what? It was different. That would be like the perfect word I would put for it. It was different, and I felt enlightened at the end of the course.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people who I'm always taking courses. I'm always listening to podcasts or something. So to kind of stumble across your content is honestly a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. I mean, Moorish history is world history. So once you start really seeing it, then you'll see every aspect of humanity is always Moorish history, Moorish science has had a play in it, whether we do it or not. And so That's why,
Wow.
anybody can connect with it. It doesn't, whether you're Asiatic, European, doesn't matter who you are. If you're a human being on this planet, you've been touched by more sciences in one way or another.
That's pretty deep.
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's something I did not know.
Yeah. And so that's, to answer your question, that's how, when you start to see this, then that's when you say, well, wait a minute, let's see if there's a market for this. Let's see if there's an audience for it. And, when we did our research, there's a huge audience for it. A huge
So,
audience for it, yeah.
is your audience mainly people of the Moorish faith, or do you just people that just want to learn stuff, or what's your audience?
Oh, no. So when you look at more science, one thing that we're taught is that, we how can I say it? What's the best way to say it? You'll be able to edit this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to think how to say it. Oh, yeah. So one of the things that we're taught is that we honor all divine prophets, and that includes Buddha, Confucius, um, any divine prophet in history. So with that being said, more science, Buddhists can look at and get into more science and really see the connection and say, "Whoa, wait a minute!" They can actually learn from it and grow from it, even more in their faith, and that's in religion. That's if you go with spirituality, religion. But then, like you said, with history, just there's two parts to it. There's the spiritual part, which is divine creed, and then you have nationality, which is everything else. It's the law. It's the history. It's what makes a person a citizen in America. It goes into a lot of things that really that our people here in America miss, and that we don't know about, and that we need. And so, long story short, when you start seeing your connection to Abraham Lincoln, not just in theory, but you see historically, bloodline, there's a lot of things that comes in play, and then you can start seeing what Abraham Lincoln really was doing for you. What did he try to do? What did he attempt to do in history? You start getting a clearer picture, and that's just with Abraham Lincoln. I mean, you have the so-called founding fathers. You have a lot of stuff. The U.S. Constitution, all this stuff applies to us. We just don't know it. We don't see it, and that's what more science. It opens your eyes up to that.
So, how many people, like, when you first thought, did you originally think of this idea? Like, how did it come together?
Me and the CEO Ryan Smith Bay, we were in Chicago for at the convention, a Moorish convention in Chicago, and when you go there and you're around a bunch of Moors and you're actually starting to see this, this bigger picture of what's going on. Yeah, my brain started racing, and I said, "Whoa!" Just what I told you earlier, the world needs this. They need to know this. And we need to be able to deliver it to them in a dynamic way that they can learn on their own, and then eventually, if it's something that they want to dig deeper into, there's means to do it. But at least online, this needs to be represented. And me and Smith Bay, we talked back and forth for a long time, and then finally we started making the moves to actually pull it together. We looked at the technology, what's available, what do we need to do, what do we need to create, who, like you said, what team members do we need, who the key people we need, how do we market this?
How many people are on your team? Like, say I want to launch my own masterclass, platform for how to podcast. How much content do I need to launch to effectively have a rounded out course? Like, how much content should I have?
Well, it depends. So we're learning a lot. To give you an example, this is our third we're working on our third platform.
Okay.
So, Amexem being our second, and we had a Tai Chi platform before that. And so with that, at each stage, every month, you're learning something new about what you should do, what you shouldn't do, when you should do it, when you shouldn't. To be more specific, to answer your question too, when we look at how much content do you need, our first mentality and what we normally do, and you know this, Jordan, is we go head first. We say, "Oh, we're going to do this big, huge, humongous amount of content. We're going to put it out there, and the world's going to love it."
Yeah.
It's gonna go viral.
That's always the sentence. It's gonna go viral.
No, we didn't.
Everyone else gonna love it.
No, we didn't trick ourselves at this time, but you know how it is in the past.
It's
Like it's gonna
always
go
that.
viral.
It's gonna go viral. Once the
Yeah.
internet sees it, they're gonna
Yeah.
love it.
They're gonna put that
Internet sees it, it's like
okay, yeah. Well, they don't see it because it's so much.
because it's so noisy. It's
Yeah,
so
so much.
noisy. Yeah.
And so the good thing is we didn't go into plan with going viral, but we did have the thought process that we need a ton of content to get where we want to go. And in some senses, that proves to be true. What we're learning now is to just go in, of course, work on building the audience first. Build and nurture that audience before you ever ask for a dime. Build the audience, nurture the audience. The audience, once they know and they trust you, and they know you're constantly delivering to them on a consistent basis, and they know you will continually do it, then they'll take I'll say it this way, they'll take a bet on you. They'll take a chance on you when you put a product in front of
I love that. I love that mindset. So you said build an audience
them.
and maintain consistency.
Mhm.
Right. So those are two huge things that like you can apply to pretty much anything in life.
Mhm.
So I like those concepts. What did you choose to start with to start to earn your audience's trust? Is my question to you.
With the Amexem, it was just that it was a ton of content. It was
But
a
what
ton of
form? Is it emails? Was it email list? Was it a Instagram post? Like what was it?
Yeah, it was videos, and then we spread them on Instagram, Facebook. Um, Later on in the game, we started with YouTube. We should have started with YouTube. Well, no, we did YouTube, but we didn't push it to the forefront. It was kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, put it on YouTube, whatever.
Where did you
Um,
find traction
we found traction with Instagram.
with Instagram?
Yeah, we found traction with Instagram. That's where our largest following is. But then we had to create that product because we're pushing a product to them. Coming
So
soon.
you guys
Product
started
coming soon. Product coming soon.
Wow. So you
After
guys
a while,
started without having the product fully finished, huh?
yes, we started without having
That's
the product.
brilliant. That's brilliant.
It's brilliant
It's brilliant.
if you can create the product quick enough. And
I've
so,
heard about
yeah,
people
yeah.
pre-selling courses and making like $250,000 or like $500,000 selling something that does not exist because they want to know if people even wanted it.
Exactly. Yeah. And
So is that kind of where you had been because you had launched products before
well, yeah,
that nobody wanted?
Well, yeah, that was the concept. Except we should have, if looking back at it and in the future, the way we are going with other projects is that, like I said, we build the audience first. That's how when you do a pre-launch on a product that you never built, you can bring in $250,000. You can bring in that amount because you already have a hungry, thirsty, trusting audience already.
Now,
In
do you
place.
have like a I guess
We didn't have that.
like
They were like, "Whoa, this is cool," but they wanted it now because we were saying, "Hey, it's coming, it's coming."
and you just started just from trial and error, huh? You
Yeah,
just
we
kind of
start from trial and error. Yeah,
learned trial and error. I freaking love that.
I would trade it for the world, though.
Yeah. You're a
You'll never
doer.
forget.
You're a
Yeah,
doer.
yeah.
Okay. So going forward, do you have like a I guess like a metric where you would figure out what your audience is gonna be? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like going forward, because you said you're gonna do a third platform and you're not entirely sure what the platform is gonna be or who the audience is. Do you have like a way to figure out where your audience is?
Oh well, we know. So we have a list of platforms that we're, in the future that we're going to work on. And what we do is we do all those metrics first. We look at what's the audience, what are they looking for, what do they want, who are these people, where are they, how can we actually get to them? I mean, there's huge audiences that we just might not be able to reach because you might have to physically be in front of them. And if we're not capable of doing it, then we kind of push that audience to the side for right now. We push that platform to the side, and we look at who can reach digitally right now with the resources that we have, and then who has the largest audience and who's easier to reach, who has the less, what markets have the least competition, you know, or when we look at the competition, can we say, man, there's a couple of advantages we can take that they're not to get in their market and get a good foothold. And so I can't say what the next platform is,
Mm-hmm.
but
y'all
we
still
do know what it
deciding?
is. Oh no, we decided. Oh, it's firm. I just can't say. I'm not at liberty.
Oh, okay.
As,
All right.
as people say, I'm not at liberty.
I'm not at
to say right now.
liberty to say.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. I like it. I guess we'll just have to, watch and see what your moves are.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It'll be plain once you see it. You're like, oh, okay, gotcha.
Where does your work ethic come from? Is it like passion that drives you, or is it just a strong will to like once you start something, you're like, I got to see this to the end. I don't care if it's garbage; it's just gonna get finished. Like what is it? What is it that
Kind of,
drives you?
it's kind of all of that, man. It's you know, it's the satisfaction of getting it complete, and also, um, I'm sure you've had this where you have a vision, you see something in your head, and one day you get it done, and it's exactly what you saw in your head. It's exactly
That's literally
what
never happened
you
to me.
envisioned.
It's
Well,
literally
has
never.
it? Well, let me ask you this. Okay, yeah, I was gonna add on to it. Has it came out better than what you expected?
Yeah, it has come out better. It has come out better, but it's
And
literally never come out exactly like I was like, oh
it's
man.
more than you could ask for. Let me say it that way.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
when you
Yeah,
when you
that's
when you
true.
put it out, you say, "Whoa! I came in with this, and I got that and more."
Yeah, that's true.
Um, that happens a few times for you, and so that's one of the things that drives me to say, "Hey, let me just do the work. Let me do the work. Let me do the work." And then if I do my part, everything else is going to do its part. Everything else is going to line up at some point. If it doesn't line up, hey, maybe I didn't do all my part. Let me go back and see what else I can do to make it better. And that's the other part of the work ethic is knowing that it's not a one shot. It's not a one shot thing. Even with the content we put out for Amexem, for example, we put it out knowing that we're going to turn back around in 3 months and update that particular series that we put. It's not just done. Once we put it out, it's not done. It's not over. We're going to go ahead and rework it. Trying to think of the term right now. You're going to edit it, so that's cool. It's not intervals. Iterate. There you go. So we know that when we put this content out, we're going to do iterations of it. It's a combination between the Apple and the Microsoft approach. Apple is going to take their time. They're going to take their dear time, which is good because most of the time that means when they finally release it, whether it be 3 years, 10 years later, it's going to be pretty solid. And that's why they charge you. That's why they make you pay for that.
That's why I tax you.
It's that law. That's why they tax you on the front end. But then with Microsoft, generally their approach is once they see a market and they had a product, hurry up and get it to the market as quick as possible. Give them something. Give them the minimal viable product, MVP. Give them that. Let them play with it. They're going to tell you all the problems with it very quickly. So Microsoft is listening very intently, and then a week later they're going to put out the patch or they're going to put out the update.
Yeah.
They're doing iterations, and so we kind of do a combination of that. Hey, we're going to put our best foot forward, and then once we put it out, we know be ready to turn around and do iteration. So that with that, it makes it a lot easier because you're not worried about getting it perfect. You're going to put everything you can into it. Once you get it out, sit it out, let the world play with it, see what your feedback is, and then go and improve on it. And we're
Just
doing it with
finish it.
but finish it. You got to.
Just finish it. I
You
mean,
got to.
God, dude, that's
That's
like
the
such a
hardest part.
good. Yeah, that is literally it's the hardest, but it's also the part that you have to just get to the end. Just get to
Yep.
the end
Mhm.
and release it. You can always update it. That's the
Mhm.
beautiful part about what you just said. Is you said just get it out, and you can always go back in and add iterations or update it, or it's like say you release a film and it's a piece of crap, but you release it anyways. Release a director's cut.
Mhm.
Just update it.
Quickly.
Quickly. Yeah,
If it's that
quickly.
bad,
If it's that
quickly.
bad, just update
Yeah.
it. I mean, I
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
but maybe a film is a bad,
Well, no,
but
it's true. I mean, you see it. You see it a lot.
you can do it with songs. I mean, hell, Kanye updates albums all the time. Like, hey, all
Oh,
the time.
I never
Hey,
heard of that because it wasn't
I
there last
never
week.
heard of that.
Oh,
I never heard of that. But then times are changing, man. Technology is here to allow you to have that access to even update it.
exactly.
So I think
Exactly.
that is a brilliant approach to work ethic and focus as well.
Yep.
So you're like really tapped in and it seems like you're always reading something. What stimulates you? Like what stimulates your curiosity?
Just personal, or are you talking business wise? Because those are two different. I compartmentalize and I put them in two different compartments.
Give me both, I guess. Give me both.
So personally, I'm really into, like I said, more science. That's life. And so from that though, there's so many different books, so many different things to listen to, a lot of esoteric books, lots of history. Man, one of the things, this is gonna sound like the nerdiest thing in the world, But one thing that I look
Me?
at, one of the tools that I use on a daily basis is a dictionary, a Merriam-Webster dictionary, and an etymology dictionary.
Wow. Why is that?
You can get lost there. So you can get lost just in the words. There's history in the words. So,
So you just
what's
be
the,
reading the dictionary?
that's what it sounds like. Yeah, in essence, yes. But
What you doing, Jesse? Oh, I'm just
come
reading
on,
the
man.
dictionary.
You're supposed to let me make it. I preface it, man. I said this is gonna sound real.
I'm just reading the dictionary.
I'm done, man. Just reading the dictionary. No. Example. What's a good example? I'm trying to think of one that's not too far out.
So do you read it so like you can increase your vocabulary? Is it like a word of the day type thing, or is it
No. I got
it's time to go to M's? Like, let
if
me
I
crack open the M's.
well, okay, so let me back up. That's one of the things. This is one thing I've learned. If you had anytime, like I have a friend, she's Filipino. She's from the Philippines. She did not know English, but growing up, she had to learn it. And one of the ways she learned English was that she literally carried the dictionary around with her. It was in her backpack. And she said that was her main book that she would read. Because anytime she ran across a word or somebody would say something, she goes look it up and she makes sure she mastered that word that day. And so I come to find out a lot of people that, where English isn't their first language, they literally read the dictionary from front to back like a book.
Wow.
Yeah, they
So
read it.
you're trying to like
I
step up
never
your
thought to do that.
vocabulary.
Well, I haven't even committed to that yet. I'm
You're
just
still in the
looking
A's.
as words as words come to mind. I say, man, let me not assume what that means. We're gonna look it up. Let me look
You,
it up.
you do always say that though.
Let me look
Think
it
about
up.
it. You do always. Let me look that up.
Yeah, for real.
I just thought you were being a troll. Like when you. Turns out you just really like to look
That's
stuff
why I get
up.
off the internet, man. I don't want people to think I'm trolling, man. But no. It's to me it's fascinating. Like I'll use the word man, I don't want to use that stuff because it's too to me it's too esoteric. And I was using an example and you tell me now, Jesse, find another one.
Okay. All right.
But so like one is a simple one is breath.
Okay.
Breath.
What you mean?
No, I got a good one. Man.
Man, hold up.
Man, hold up. MAN. When you look up man, first you look up the dictionary, of course, is going to say referring to a male human being. That's the temporary, the modern definition of it. But then man also has deeper meanings and actual older meanings, the true meanings of the word. And so man, when we start looking at man actually man actually means mind. And man actually has nothing to do with male or female or anything, is mind. And so when you start thinking of that, and of course, what made me look at that up was the fact that that's in Moorish science. We have a Moorish Quran, and in the Quran it states "man, which is mind." It just slides that in there. Then it goes and explain a whole bunch of other stuff. And I said, well, wait a minute, what do you mean, man, which is mind? Never
So
heard that.
man is not even necessarily gender of a dude, like a swole ass buff dude. It's not even
That
necessarily that. It's just somebody's mind.
that's a modern thing that society has kind of made
Kind of
man.
warped.
Yeah, which is why there's the word male and female to designate, physically what kind of man is this? Oh, this is a male. This is a female, you know. And so something like that. I mean, and then that's just in the dictionary, and that's just the definition. If you go look up the etymology, that shows the history of the word.
Oh, okay.
Spanning different languages, cultures. What does it meant? And you can actually trace back and see what that word meant at certain times. Um, I'm not even going to that, but it points back to mind. But then it gives you this whole different aspect of the word. So now when you hear it, you'll hear it and you say, "Man, I wonder when he said mind. When he said man, what did he mean?" You might hear some comedians say man, and then you might hear Obama say man. And when you hear it, you say, "Well, wait a minute, Obama. You mean a buff man, a male, like you just said, or do you mean mine? What are you referring to?" And it
Does
makes sense
Obama use double entendres like that?
all the time. Well, yeah, he uses words, and this is English language, so they call it the fork tongue language. It means you can
Yeah,
say a
he
word
is.
and it have multiple meanings. You can say one thing and mean a different way. So yeah, he does it all the time. They all do it.
They all do it.
Yeah,
Code.
and it's important. Yeah, and that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But that's that's part
But
of it.
that's how your brain kind of goes down the rabbit hole, and that's what stimulates you and kind of makes you curious.
Yeah,
I just kind of want to know how you think.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
mean, you
And
did
that
answer
takes
my question.
and that takes you all the way. Like you say, that rabbit hole or that journey. So that's one thing I do on a daily. I'm always looking at words and seeing what they mean and trying to get better understanding of what's going on. What is and what's the truth.
Wow, I love that.
And it's in words. That's one of the ways you can find the truth about something is in the words. Stop assuming what a word means. Look it up. You'll be surprised what you find.
Wow,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're gonna make me carry a dictionary now.
Well, I
Hope
mean,
I
you
don't get
got one.
shoved in the locker.
Yeah.
Get
Leave
in
your
there,
lunch money.
dweeb.
Well, you got one in your pocket, man.
Yeah, I got
You
one.
have a
I know
phone,
you
you
got
have
one
a
on you.
dictionary. I mean, you have a phone, you have a dictionary.
I'm
You
gonna
have
go.
them
I'm gonna take you out to
always
lunch,
in
and
order.
I'm gonna be like, "Oh man, I can't find my wallet. I need a dictionary." And you're gonna be like, "I got you, fam.
I got you. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. Here goes. Here you go.
Got you, fam."
Here's a
Okay.
wallet.
Since starting this venture of Amexem, how have you learned to improve on your weak spots,
Um,
or have you
one,
just let somebody else take that over?
well, I mean, me, I'm hands on everything.
Mm.
Especially if it's something new. Even if me and you are working on a project and it's something that you have to learn and grow with, I'm going to learn it too out of my own curiosity. I want to help and I want to understand what's going on too. So, one of the weakness that me personally that I noticed that I had was with copywriting. We had a conversation about this a while back, and I was like, Jordan, I'm gonna start writing. I'm working on writing. He was like, Nah, bro, don't write. Do the video. And I was like, I
I
know
was
what
like,
you're
just
saying.
focus. You can
I know,
find so
yeah,
many people out here that want to
yeah.
copyright, or that you can get proficient at it and have them punch it up or something. But
Mhm.
I was like, dude, you're just focus. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
know how you are. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like you're gonna be like, I'm gonna go copyright school, and then I'm gonna get great at it, and then I'll be like,
That's it though. That's it.
yeah, because I know how you are. Like you want to be the best at whatever it is you start. Like you can't. You're like me. You can't handle being trash at a skill. Like you have to be at least three, or from a scale from 1 to 5, you have to be at least above a 3.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah, yeah.
mean? Like
I
you
mean, I
can't
wasn't
handle
even
being a 1 or 1.5. You're like, no, I gotta read books. I'm gonna read books. I'm gonna read the dictionary. You.
yeah, no, real, yeah. But that's part of it. For me, I just knew, I figured, hey, that's a skill. I'm always looking at building skills. What's the new skill?
It
I
is
used to laugh
behind
at people. I used to laugh at people that say, "Oh, I want to be a jack of all trades. Or I'm a jack of all trades." And I used to be like, "You're a jack of all trades. You're an ace of none." I used to say that junk. And
because I mean you've seen a lot of people that are literally aces of none. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, the people that I've heard that have always said, "I'm good. I'm a jack of all trades." Like you say, they're not even a jack of all trades. They're two or three of all trades. And so, I would laugh at it, but now I get it. As I've grown, to say,
hmm
oh, okay, it's important. The more skill where we're going in the future, the
hmm
more skills you have that you're proficient at, the better off you're going to be. It's not just about knowing one trade or anything like that. It's about the more you know and the more you're good at, the more value you bring to yourself, to the world, to companies. The better off you're going to be. And that stands true for me to this day. The more I learn, the more I grow, the more opportunities I find.
So
So
you
copywriting
mastered
was one of them. Yeah.
copywriting.
I'm nowhere near master. I'm
Oh,
nowhere
not
near master.
mastered, but
I'm just I'm just learning and I'm learning some tricks. I'm learning
it
the tricks.
forced you to become proficient at it, huh?
Enough to where I
Email
can
writing, copywriting, long
em-
form copy, all that junk or all that stuff.
all of it's junk. It is all that junk, man. Just learning it and how to actually use it. Um, and the one thing I looked at, we talked about, it, I was like, well, for a long time, I've always written scripts. I've always written copy in a sense, but
hmm
I've ran across so much stuff where, I know the tricks. I would know the tricks of the trade, and I would come to a landing page, and I know, hey, I already know what they're going to ask me to do. They're going to ask me to click on this button, put my email address in, so they can start spamming me. I know this, but every once in a while, I run across something, and it's so good. I'm like, I know what they're doing. but I gotta give them my email. I need that, whatever that is. And I know I don't need it. I just know they did such a great job at selling it to me. Let me,
Yeah.
and so I tell myself, okay, Jesse, do it, and just swipe everything they do so you can learn from it. That's how I started. And then before you know it, I'm like, okay, let me really start learning. Um, how does that happen, Jordan? How does it happen where you know the ins and outs of what's happening? You know the trick, the illusion has been put in front of you,
And you
and
still
you
get
still go to it. It's like a
it
fish.
happens.
It's like a fish that knows. I know that's a hook on that
Yeah.
worm. That's not even a real
You
worm.
can't
I
stop it
know it,
though.
but I have to bite it.
You
How
have
do
to
you?
fight it. Yeah.
I,
That's so true.
and I turn around and say, you know what? I want to learn how to fish like that.
Mm.
I need to learn how to do that. If I can do that, that takes everything, videos, web design, UX design, anything I do that takes that to another level. You know, and so that's part of the journey. That's one of those things, like you said, one of those weaknesses where I say, let me work on this. And of course, our whole team is working on it, so that all across the board, we become better writers, we become better script writers, email writers, copywriters. We become better speakers. If you can form phrases and thought and words on paper, then the more you do it, you start naturally speaking that way. Don't I got one for you. Don't I say it a lot, and I get tempted with it a lot, and I have to always tell myself, "Oh, you already know what this is. Don't fall for it." It's sometimes it's so easy to market and reach out to an audience in a certain way, and it's going to get you a bunch of followers. It's going to get a bunch of email subscribers, or it's going to get you a bunch of whatever. But if you're still talking to the audience the wrong way, or you're giving them the wrong thing, that's not true to what your product is, in the long run, you're going to lose them. You're going to be wasting
Mm.
time and energy. And, I'll use the example. We all know this where you go on YouTube and you see the thumbnail and it's some amazing thing that you've never seen. Then the headline says something and you're like, that's too good to be true. Click, the clickbait, and you click on it
Yeah, the
and
clickbait.
then you watch it. And before you even finish it, you look down and you see, it has 1 million views. It has, 1,000 thumbs up, and it has, 900,000 thumbs down. And you're like, oh, they got me. They just wasted 5 seconds of my life.
Those
And
are
some
literally
people
the
still watch it. Some people still watch it, but at the end of the day, whoever's doing that, they're
Mhm.
just going for the numbers.
It's a special spot in hell for them.
It's special spot. It's
Special. That was for the clickbaiters.
you click, go here, go now.
Go here. You're a
Yeah, yeah,
clickbaiter.
yeah, yeah.
You used to work for BuzzFeed, didn't you? Yeah, go
Yeah.
over there.
Uh, and so the thing is, like, when you look at it, it's tempting. It's tempting to know, man, I can say something a certain way and put a certain image up. And I know it's going to get the volume, that you desire. But then the reality is, no, you have to stick true to what you have and what you're doing. You can't. Don't be the clickbaiter. Don't do that. Don't. And really, because if not, I'll give you an example. Long time ago, I don't think you worked on this. We worked on a movie called Border Break. And with Border Break, we were looking at marketing. The movie was almost done. We're like, what scheme can we get together to get people excited about this? And one of the ideas was to do an iPad giveaway. We said,
iPad
okay,
giveaway?
yeah, iPad giveaway. We had one of the actors, his brother, was really, 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 really invested in his brother's acting career. And he's like, what can I do to help? He's like, I mean, I got some money, I can help. And it was like, man, can you buy us an iPad? He was like, oh yeah, I'll buy an iPad. It's not a problem. Yeah, what do you need? And so we thought about it, and then smart thing is we asked a couple other film friends that we knew, and one of our friends, Carlos, he just said, "Don't do it." He's the only person that said, "Don't do it." Everybody else was like, "Oh yeah, cool, you're gonna get a whole lot of followers and all this stuff." And he said, "Don't do it." And we're like, "Why not?" It was like, "Look, I'm selling it." So I said, "Man, we're gonna have the iPad. It's gonna have the movie on the iPad, so that when a person get it, it's already loaded with the movie, and it'll be great. And it'll have the Border Break poster in the background, and it'll just be the
Yeah.
Border Break. Yeah, yeah, it's great."
I got this movie and
Yeah,
this
and
movie
he and he said, "Jesse, everybody that's gonna sign up for that does not care about your movie. They care about the iPad." So you're not gaining movie fans. You're gaining fans of your movies. You're gaining Apple fans. And as soon as you do the giveaway, and then you start talking about your movie, they're gonna burn. They don't care no more. Unless you're talking about another iPad giveaway. I said,
Damn.
oh wow. He's like that. You're marketing for Apple at that point. You're not marketing for your movie.
So what did you do as far as like what was the marketing that sustained instead of the iPad giveaway?
We did a trailer, and then we reworked the trailer. We showed it to a couple of industry buddies, and they said, "No, Jesse, it sucks. Here, do it again. Here's some ideas." No, for real, And in hindsight, they were absolutely correct. I was like, "Oh man, you can't tell me my trailer sucks."
You
You know,
suck.
I've been working like you said earlier. I've been working on this all night. I ain't getting no sleep. What are you talking about?
I don't sleep over this trash ass trailer.
Perfect. This is perfect. What are you talking about? And then, he gave me some examples. He showed me. This is my friend Louis out in L.A. And he showed me some examples, and we reworked it. And we took that trailer, which was way, way, way better. Now, if I redid it again, of course, it'd be better. But it was light years ahead of what I came up on my own. And so we took that trailer and we just did a countdown to the trailer.
Did that convert better?
Yeah, absolutely. It got, I mean, in Houston at that time, Houston independent films was still a new thing. And we had every actor, everybody on the production crew, you're talking about 30, 40 people every day posting about this trailer that's coming out in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And it's a countdown. Oh, we got 4 days. This is, now you see it all the time. 4 days until the trailer drop, 1 day until the trailer drop. We did that back in 2008. Yeah, 2008, 2009 we were doing.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you were really taking advantage of Twitter marketing, like when noise wasn't as bad. I mean, it's really hard. I don't think I've ever seen a movement on Twitter in the past. I mean, unless it's a meme. That's the only thing I see on there. Memes and funny videos from TikTok.
And that actually did, in my opinion, they did a better job as far as getting the noise up about the film. It might actually did a better job. It might actually hurt the film. And what I mean by that is, the anticipation is so high for it that it's like the Dre Detox album.
Oh, it's too much hype.
So high, it's like, well, maybe when you see it, it's kind of like, oh yeah, that's good, but dang, I've been waiting 2 weeks for this.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's but I think it worked, and we try to keep track of that whenever we try to keep that mindset, whatever we're marketing. Because it's easy to just see and say, man, you know what? If I said A, B, and C right now, I know this will go.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not true to what you're doing, you got to just say, hey, that's what they're doing, and hopefully it works for them. It appears like it might work for them, but
what's something that someone can use, I guess, like a barometer to keep them on track instead of being like, well, you know what? I'm going to give away Chick-fil-A coupons or Starbucks coupons because they know that's what the people that might be fans want, and they're coming for the Chick-fil-A coupons and the Starbucks coupons. Like, what is a way to figure out what would work within your brand?
Listen to what we're saying right now. But if you still have the urge to do it, go do it. Try it. If you have an iPhone app that you're creating, for productivity, and you're like, but man, if I give away Chick-fil-A coupons, I know a lot of people are gonna come and sign up for my app. Okay, try it. We're telling you right now, it's not gonna work because what you're doing is you're getting Chick-fil-A fans.
You're not getting your loyal fans that need to.
They don't care about your product because you're selling another product. That's not cross promotion. It seems like it's an illusion of cross promotion, but it's not cross promotion. What you have has nothing to do with Chick-fil-A. Leave it alone. That's Chick-fil-A. They've done that. Now, if Chick-fil-A is pushing you,
come on now, Chick-fil-A only pushes Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. But even then, it has to work, man. It has to make sense, and it's tempting. It's like I said, it's real tempting to say and go off and do things that will probably work as far as getting you the numbers. Did you? I'll use an example. You saw I forgot her name. She was doing I think it was a fashion brand or something. And she talked about how she put so much money into her lunch. She put so much money and time into her lunch, and she had so many likes and followers on Instagram. And then when she released it, like she barely made $250.
Oof.
And she had like millions of followers. This Instagram, Twitter, like she barely made her money back. And that's actually what got her more following. It was that she was candid about it, open to say, man, y'all, I put so much time and effort into my marketing and not really my product. And I'm paraphrasing it, but she just can't really think. That's how I found out about it. Was her saying, man, I bombed. I bombed major. I barely made $250.
Because her launch wasn't associated to what she was actually trying to accomplish.
Mm-hmm. It was all on, I mean, it was the stuff that gets people to want to follow you.
Mm-hmm.
But this was a brand where she's trying to sell something to somebody, and she wasn't putting the product out in front. She was putting out lifestyle and other kind of tricks. At the end of the day, they're losing. And so that's, as far as advertising, build an audience that true. It's gonna take a time. It's gonna take time, but stay true to your audience. And the more people the more true fans you have, the more that they will bring more true fans to the table. It's like
Stay
a
true
party.
to your fans.
Yeah, stay true to your fans. Stay true to your product.
Stay true to your product.
And
I like
then
that.
stay true to the market. It's a relationship. You can't just want to hurry up and try to build it. Everybody wants it. We done stuff, man. We put money into to YouTube ads, which actually it actually did pretty well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on an aspect, it went pretty well. It didn't give us what we wanted, but it gave us something else. I know I'm being vague. Maybe I need to be specific.
Did it convert? I guess emails or what?
No, it didn't convert to email. So we did a YouTube ad campaign, and it's the same thing. You want, when you turn that campaign on, you want to start seeing those emails coming in from sales.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen at all.
Yikes.
We didn't see anything. Now, a good thing was this was YouTube's money. They gave us, they give you.
Oh, they give you like a couple
$100. Yeah. So we was like, oh, let's burn. No. We did pretty good with it. We didn't just blow it off at one time, but we didn't see any sales. But what we did see was an influx of subscribers.
Wow.
Which was like, I hate, this is one thing, I can't say I hate it, but I really, 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 I don't like the funnels where you have to build a YouTube audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then once you build that YouTube audience, then you got to turn around and convert those into people to get on your email list. And then once you get them on your email list, then you got to try to convert them into the actual customers. I don't like that process.
That seems to be like the basic funnel, though. I mean,
and
you got to give away free content to get the email. Once you get the email, then you just hit them up constantly and ask them, do they want to buy from you? I mean, it seems to be working.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But
is it just seem disingenuous?
No. I want to win. I want to hit the grand slam. I don't want to. I want to make a hit, get on first base, and another hit, get on second, another hit. I don't want to take the steps.
But you said previously you got to build a relationship.
Yeah, and so
it seems like that's a relationship. It's like the first one is
exactly
check out my YouTube video, which is hi.
Yeah.
What's your email? Let me get your phone number, girl.
Yeah.
And then this third one, is let me follow you up. And then when you finally, buy, it's home run, right? Grand slam.
And that's so I'm giving you the insight to say, man, that is exactly how it is. And can't skip a step. You can't. You gotta build here. Once again, I want the second you see an ad, you go through the whole funnel in one moment.
Everybody wants
even though we set it up so that it's not, so that it is. You set the funnel up for a reason, but still in the back of your mind, you want to go viral.
Yes,
you want that. You want to wake up and have 1,000 sales that night.
7,000 sales.
Yeah, you want that.
Want that dopamine hit.
You can get that, but that's once you have that audience. You have to have a large enough audience so that when you make that announcement, you get those sales. So back to the full circle of what we started with. Build the audience first. If you can, build an audience, nurture them, invest in them. They'll be there for life. That's the only way to beat out the big boys. There's a lot of competition out here. People say, "Hey, there's no competition in my market." I'm like, yeah, it is, because you're competing for somebody's money. Right? You're competing for $1 or $10 or $100, whatever it is, and Apple wants that money too.
Apple,
Microsoft wants that money.
Yeah, somebody wants the money.
Grocery store wants that money. The light company wants that money. Everybody's competing for the dollar. So you have to compete. How do you compete with the big boys? Your audience has to trust you way more than they trust them, and they'll make some room for you. They will. And so we've seen it work on smaller scales, and now with that, all right, let's scale it up. That's what we're working on.
This man is dropping gems over here. God damn. Okay.
I'm gracious, man. I'm gracious.
You're giving this is a
Option.
masterclass. I'm not even joking. This is
The
really
list.
good.
Hey, it's on the list.
It's on the list.
Yeah, believe.
All right, I'm gonna ask one more question. And then I want people to you give your social medias or what do you want them to check out.
Yeah.
My last question is creatively, what scares you? What
creative? What scares me?
Yeah.
Nothing, Jordan. What are you talking about? Nothing scares me creatively, man. I'm not just playing.
Oh my god!
Typical Jesse, right? No.
I ain't scared of nothing.
I ain't scared of nothing creatively. No, what are you talking about? Creatively,
does failure scare you?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, it's always there. It's always a possibility,
Mm-hmm.
But that's part of the drive is to know that without getting too deep into it. No, let's go deep. Let's do it. So, I use this example a lot. I used to use it with Steve. You know Steve. You remember Steve?
Yeah, Steve.
I used to use it with him. I use it with a lot of people to say, think about Will Smith. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What does it take? How much energy and work and time, not just from Will Smith, but from everybody involved on the planet? How much energy goes into the world recognizing that name, Will Smith?
I know it's two hella basic names, Will and Smith. It is like the most American name.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Will Smith is a black man, to be honest with you. It sounds like a really old white dude. Oh, this is Will Smith. He owns this cottage and this plantation over here. That's Will Smith. Right? Doesn't it? I mean, it sounds like a president.
Going back to the Mexican. Go back to the Mexican,
Mm-hmm. It just sounds like a really old, it sounds homogenized. That's like a perfect word to put it.
This doesn't have to do with what we're just talking about right now, but Will Smith. And like you said, how many Washingtons do you know that are European? People that have the last name Washington that are European. Pale skin. How many people you know?
Denzel. I mean,
but he's not European.
No, I know.
Now, how many Washingtons do you know of?
I know a lot of people with the last name Washington, but I'm trying to think of, do I know like any white people with the last name Washington?
So think about George Washington and say, well, where did George Washington get his name from?
I don't know dictionary.
It's a theory. I don't know about fact, but it's just one of those thoughts.
You let me pull up my dictionary.
One day I'm gonna dig into that. I'm gonna look it up and say, man, what? You don't know anybody with that last name. And that wasn't my original thought. Somebody else had posed that question. And I was like, whoa, wow, you're right. So
mind blown.
Is Will Smith, is that a European name?
We got off topic, bro.
I know. All right. So you put that at the beginning. I'm
gonna put that as like a clip that's in the show, and then just like not leave it in the show at all. What about the Will Smith part?
Yeah, all right. No, so Will Smith. Yeah, how much energy does it take for the world to know that name, whether you like him or not? You hear Will Smith, if you recognize it, you talk about You're talking about a strong will. And I'm talking about like willpower. You're talking about a strong will. You're talking about Will Smith had a strong, powerful will. Nothing would stop him, even in failure. He failed and he kept moving to the point where you don't even see the failures. And so with all that being said, that's kind of how I deal with failure. I know it's always there. It's always a possibility. But the only way I can fail is if I let it win. If you want to create an app, let's go with the whole productivity app. If you want to create a productivity app and there's another company that opposes that, they don't want you to create that. They don't want that to win. The winner is going to be the person who has the strongest will, who says, no, I'm going to make this work. So if your competition, if opposing force, anything, it could be life. We give a lot of credit to life. If life gets in the way, what's stronger? The circumstance or your will to push through it. And, so that's how I deal with fear. Like I said, the fear is there. It's always there. Or did I do this right? Can I do it better? And so that's why we get it done, push it out, finish it, step back, analyze it, and then see what we can do to improve on it as quick as possible. That way, even if you do fail, it's not really a failure. It's like, man, I'm not even finished with that. What are you talking about? Relax, man. I'm coming out with something next month. Chill out.
Yeah, I
And then
love
you
that.
go hustle up and, and fix it up, you know?
Yeah, I love that mindset of being able to, like looking at your work as not finished, even when it is finished, being like, I can always go in and improve it. So say like, I don't know, just an example, like you write a book and you're like, this book is, it comes out, it doesn't come out as good as you want it to. Just say, well, it's the first of a series, and the second one's going to be better, or the third one's going to be better, or the fourth one's going to be better. But just constantly releasing books rather than just getting stuck on that first book and you just throw it in the trash because you don't think it's good enough.
Because you won't never get good. I'll use
Exactly.
this last example. 'Cause I know you got time restraints. You heard of Tobe, right?
Yeah. The
Rapper, right?
artist.
Man, I tell everybody when I talk about him, I was like, man, if y'all heard Tobe when he first started, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I might meet the guy one day. Hey, I'll stand true to this. I thought it was garbage. I was like, what? Why is this dude rapping? What
How
is he
long ago did
doing?
you hear him?
That was 3 years ago. It was only 3 years ago.
But I mean, what he was
Only
doing, the Twisted Sundays, I think he calls it.
I think it was before that. It was before
Oh,
that
okay.
because
Yeah.
I actually heard him through a friend. He did. I heard him through a friend. And so once I saw the music video, and I was just like, oh, this dude's garbage. You know, wow, okay, whatever's another one of them. I did.
Yeah, you just thought he was another rapper.
He was. He
Yeah.
was another rapper. He was just another rapper.
He
But
wasn't like really saying anything. Like, I mean, I'm just asking. He
he
wasn't
might
really
have had
saying
content.
anything, or what
It
was the
was just
content like? Was the
it was
content different?
it was delivery. It was content. It was just it wasn't. If you heard it, Jordan, you'd be like, oh no, he's whatever, right?
But sometimes it takes time to creatively find yourself.
He knew that.
Yeah.
He knew that, and that's the same mentality here. Is to say, do everything you can to put your best foot forward, and know you're gonna keep improving. So then I pretty much, that's somebody I didn't even know his name. I heard it as whatever. Then 2, 3 years later, I forgot I saw a post or something, and dude's going hard, and I look and I say, "Oh, that's that same guy from." I said, "Whoa!" And I
That's
was
a
like,
beautiful
"Oh,
story.
that's a fluke." So I go listen to some more stuff, and I'm like, "Whoa, this brother is going
He
in."
shut you down, huh?
I
He
thought,
made you
hey man,
believe it.
look, hey man, he made me a believer, and
That's dope.
I'm never too big to say no, no, no. Man, I tell my wife like, man, I use him as an example, even for her music. I was like, babe, let's put our best foot forward,
Uh-huh.
sit back, analyze, and go in for round two. Let's go in for round three. You gotta know that you're gonna get better. That's the only way to get better. You know?
Is to constantly put it out there, get market feedback, and then go back in the lab.
Yeah, I look at those BMX riders and people that do, that's doing all these tricks on ski slopes and stuff like that. They're
Mm-hmm.
going down the mountain, they're turning up doing triple tucks and all kind of crap, making up stuff. But you get
Yeah.
what I'm saying? They're doing all
Triple
the stuff.
tucks.
And I always look at it and the only thing I say is, man, how did you get good at that? How many times you
Ah,
had to bust your tail before
yeah.
you were able to just jump and land,
See, you have respect for the grind though.
for the process, yeah.
The
Yeah.
process. Yeah,
That's
you
the
have
only
respect
way
for the
you can get there.
process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
People look at the end result and go, "Oh man, I want to do that," but they're not willing to learn how to do an ollie, or not an ollie, but what is it? What's the pull-up bar thing? It's not an ollie. I'm thinking of a skateboard.
skateboard, man. Right now, if I got on a skateboard, I could probably go a little bit before I kind of wobble. Maybe I fall out and bust my head wide open.
Yeah.
That's why I would wear a helmet.
Yeah,
You
helmet.
know what I'm saying? But it's a thing of I know going out there, I'm not gonna fool myself and think I'm gonna do some crazy tricks off the top. But if that's something that I desire to do, I have to commit to the whole process. Most people don't. They want the quick win, and it's like, mm-mm. You're gonna have to take
Mm-mm.
a bunch of swings. You're gonna miss a lot of pitches before you ever just tap the ball.
Commit to the process and then begin.
Process. Yep. Yep.
So Jesse, you said that this is your second platform. What was the first platform, and what did you learn from it?
Well, the first platform we did was a Tai Chi platform. We realized early that there's a huge audience for Tai Chi around the world, and especially in America. They just don't know it yet.
Mm.
There's a huge need for it. Let me say it that way. And so, with us knowing that, we start digging in and we created a platform. And to give you an idea, we had to learn how to translate the technical aspect of, in this aspect, in this sense, Tai Chi, technical terms or jargon or stuff like that, and we have to translate it into what the people are actually looking for. You can't expect them to just jump aboard of what you're saying and get it. They're not. They're not going to even search for it. They're not even checking for what you're saying. An example was, um, there's a form. the Tai Chi form. Tai Chi is a meditative movement. It's a martial arts, but it's more for mindfulness. And there's a form, which is a certain set of movements that you do, and one of it's called Wudang Mountain 18 Form Tai Chi. I think I said it wrong, but forgive me. But at the end of the day, that's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when we created everything around that form, that's what we're labeling Wudang Mountain 18 Form Tai Chi, such and such. And then what you come to realize is no one goes on Google and says, how do I do Wudang Mountain 18 Form Tai Chi? No one searches for that. You know, no one's even checking for Tai Chi. Not in America.
Oh, okay.
No one's saying, hey, I want to learn more about Tai Chi. All right.
It hasn't caught on yet.
No, it hadn't. It hadn't. There's something called 3 conscious corrections, which is simply stopping, observing your breath. Well, no, first observing how are you standing, how are you sitting, adjusting your posture, then adjusting your breath. How are you breathing? Breathing fast, breathing slow. Okay, adjust it, and then adjusting your mind. And that's a standard Tai Chi sequence that you do all the time to help yourself. Well, guess what? No one's checking for that. No one's saying, how do I improve my 3 conscious correction? No one's,
because they don't even know what a 3 conscious correction is. Like, I just learned that right now.
Yeah, but you know what people are always checking for?
Anxiety, stress, relief.
How do I not kill my boss the next time he flips out on me? Use 3 conscious correction to calm yourself in the middle of that.
Yeah.
So you can get through it without flipping out on him.
So you lead with so you want to kill your boss. He's making you work double time.
Don't do it. This is how.
Don't do it.
3 ways.
I've got the solution for you.
3 ways
3
to not wig out. Here are 3 ways to not wig out.
Yeah.
On your boss tomorrow at work. You know, I mean, that's a headline. It's a crappy one, but you get where it goes.
Yeah.
But
so
when
you're saying that
you teach them 3, and you still don't even say 3 conscious corrections until the end, until they say, "Oh, that worked," or that sounds cool. Then you say, "Hey, this is actual ancient technique in Tai Chi. You know, Chinese use it all the time. It's called three conscious corrections."
So that's a technique that you learned for getting your content in front of people who didn't even know that they needed your content.
Yeah, they need it, and you know they need it. That's the main reason why you're doing it. But you have to translate. You got to talk in their language.
So you're solving their problems with your product.
That's it. Because there's for that example, how do I not wig out on my boss, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of different options and solutions. You know, leave the room, pop a pill.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I don't even know what that would
breathe.
I'm sure there's well, breathing is one of them. You know, but there's so many different options.
You don't want to get triggered.
Yeah, you know, but no one knows the Tai Chi is option, so you just slide it into it. You just sneak it in and say, "Hey, this can work," and it doesn't take any medicine, it doesn't take anything. It just takes you in 5 seconds. 5 seconds, and you will be able to. Or you know, how do you get rid of that? How you deal with corporate tunnel at your workstation? Do this for 15 minutes, and your corporate tunnel will disappear for the day. You know, that's a headline. Do this for 15 minutes at your desk, and your corporate tunnel will disappear. Your wrist pains will disappear.
So how did that venture go for you?
I went well. It went well. I ended up having to move on to Amexem. It's still there. It's still growing. It's still doing its thing.
What's the name of it?
It's called Me Time 24/7.
24/7.
Me Time 24/7.
You still adding content?
I'm not. We've actually got another team member on there, and he's handling that. And you know, they pretty much, I got it started, and they're taking it further. So you know, I'm proud of that. You know, and so now I can dedicate all my time to Amexem and to the future platforms. But translating, and we have to do it we have to do it for Amexem. We're doing it right now. We're literally saying, wait a minute, we can't talk about higher self, lower self. We can, but who checks for higher self? You know,
no one's Googling that.
Do you know what your higher self is? No.
If it's higher, it's because of weed. It has nothing to do with more science.
That's completely opposite. So that's the thing.
What's the higher self?
Yeah, people go like,
that means the edibles are hitting right.
Yeah, so it's the thing of to say, well, wait a minute, you know, let's talk about decision making.
Mm-hmm.
How do you make better decisions in life? You know, you have life changing decisions you have to make. How do you make it? And we teach them And then at the end, we say, hey, that's using your higher self. That's using something spiritual that you have that you just got to tap into. Stop asking your friends and stuff like that. Tap into yourself. And learning how to translate that's a skill that I'm learning. It's hard, man, because you just want to go in and say, rah, 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 whatever the jargon is.
Mm-hmm.
And just
how to translate it for your customer.
You have to, yeah.
That's brilliant.
So,
all right. I mean, that's beautiful.
That's all I have, Jordan.
That's all I have.
What more do you want from me?
No. It's good, man. I love it.
How can the people reach out to you? I mean, I know they can look up Amexem. I mean, spell that for the people so they can find it.
Amexem, AMEXEM.com. Amexem.com. That's one of the platforms. You look up Jesse Young 3rd L. So that's JESSEYOUNG, the number 3 RDEL. You look that up on Facebook, and I'm on Twitter. I'm barely on Twitter, but I'm there. And Instagram. You look me up, you can find me.
I'll put his information in the show notes, so no worries. So, did you have any closing words?
Not at all. I always like little curveball, man. I like the tag value. No, I have nothing. I have
nothing to add.
I have said everything that is needed to be said.
I have given you everything. That is it.
There's more, but you'll have to earn it.
All right. Well, you can look him up on Amexem, and I'll put his social media in the show notes, and you can just go from there.
Thank you for listening to Offstage with Jordan Baylor. Now go forth and create.